game sounds really cool. I'm definitely gonna go check that out after for a nice game. Yes, of course. Yeah. One thing here, yes.
And just the energy.
All right, Will. We should be live.
We're live.
Well, hello, Mr. William Outlaw. Thank you for joining me today. Even though I made it really hard on you and
we made it. That's
told you the wrong place, but hey, we're here. We're here, fashionably late.
Ready
With a minute and 3 seconds to spare. So really quick, let's do our 1 minute pre-show. What are you expecting from the Ubisoft conference?
I don't even know. We know we're not gonna see Assassin's Creed. We know of Watch Dogs.
Yes. Didn't you like Watch Dogs 2?
I didn't play the second one. I liked the first one. I mean, that was one of those early games, you know. I had no reason not to play Watch Dogs 2. I just never got to it. Did you play it?
I had it, and then like I played a little bit of it, and then I just got sidetracked with a bunch of other things. Like I was enjoying it. Jeff played all of it and like really liked it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
we have to see if the main character is too cool.
Yeah,
That's
yes,
one of our
that is a very important. That's honestly the biggest thing in this entire conference. That's the biggest thing that I'm looking for. I am interested though. Like London could be cool.
Yeah, no,
But, like,
absolutely.
I mean, I guess that has not been 100% confirmed, but like all the rumors and stuff, like it seems like it's definitely London. I'm going to check out the audio real quick.
And for everyone at Ubisoft, we hope you enjoy.
But potential Mario plus Rabbids. All right, here we go.
Splinter Cell.
Bling. Yeah, you gotta like not get your hopes up because they pretty much straight up said that like
that's the thing.
they're not working on it right now, unfortunately.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. It's probably gonna be like DLC.
I was about to say.
Can you
would
hear
they
it?
show- Yeah, I can hear it.
Right.
Yeah. They've already had some DLC for this, right?
Yeah, I think they've had a few, or at least they've announced several.
That's
of them.
Revelations there.
Okay, so this is just a general Assassin's Creed Orchestra thing. Yes.
I mean, they have to be.
Or
showing
maybe
something
it's
like
like some remake thing. I don't know.
Well, I was gonna say they might want to do some sort of remaster. They already have the Ezio thing. I'm always down with some live music at these shows.
Yeah.
Symphonies, anyway.
I thought that was cool at Ubisoft last year. They had the band doing the Donkey Kong music.
Yeah. It's no Keanu Reeves, but
There's no
close.
Keanu Reeves. Oh, I love it. You're breathtaking.
And the fact that he got a free game out of it. Did you see that?
No.
The guy who said that was given a free copy of Cyberpunk.
If he wasn't gonna get a free copy of Cyberpunk, then there was something wrong. Oh, sorry. I just realized you meant the guy who said you're breathtaking. I thought you
yeah.
meant Keanu Reeves. I was
No,
like,
no,
oh,
no.
okay. I was about to... Oh, that's great.
I wonder if they will make some sort of Assassin's Creed announcement. Even if it's not the Vikings one.
I feel like you can't do this and not have something. But I mean, especially like if this was a medley and it went into a bunch of Ubisoft things, then it'd be like, okay, maybe. But you have this whole like
They're setting up something.
like they're going through the history right now, aren't they? I haven't been paying attention, but it seems like they started
Yeah, I guess.
like with the older game. Now they're in the Revolutionary War. It seems like they're going through. Yeah, now Black Flag.
Oh, that's interesting.
So
yeah.
I think they're going through all the games.
You know what? I think they're going. Well, I haven't been paying close enough attention. I wonder if they're going through chronological order.
I think they are because you were saying earlier it was Revelations, and then they got to. Didn't the Revolutionary War one come before Black Flag?
I think so.
I think
And
it
then
did.
they had, yeah, because they actually did start with Odyssey.
Did they?
I don't know. Let's see. Okay, no, they are going in order of release,
I love like
guess.
the sea chanties in Black Flag. They should
Actually,
start playing
that's
them.
like one of the only ones I haven't played, and that's like supposed to be the best.
I've watched my brother-in-law play a bunch of it, and like when you're riding on the sea, like your crewmates do these sea chanties, and they're like really good. They're like, Ubisoft always has like pretty like good conferences. Just there's not a whole lot of things that I care like a whole lot about that they have usually, but there always could be a thing here or there.
I like a lot of their games. They fit my style a lot.
I mean, they just make fun. Their games are just like kind of pure fun. I mean, like Far Cry is just like there's nothing revolutionary about it, but it is just a well-made, fun series.
Definitely.
Same thing with Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs. I mean, Ubisoft kind of has a feel to them that is very identifiable.
You know when it's Ubisoft, and that's a good or bad thing depending on who you are, but I tend to enjoy their games a lot.
They're consistent. They don't really have that many duds, I would say. Like even For Honor was a lot of fun. I mean, like aesthetically, and there's some things about it that just seem kind of bland. Like I just think like just kind of bland.
That IP. It's been a while, and it seems to be. I mean, a lot of people seem to enjoy it.
I think there's a surprisingly like high amount of people that play it. Like it was always like that year, at least the first half of whatever year it came out. I remember it was on the MPDs for a while.
I'm sure they'll show extended gameplay for Breakpoint, probably.
Yeah, I'm sure. Which are you?
I'm
in for that, I imagine. Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's just the tour.
It's like music tour.
Okay.
Gotcha. That's cool too.
Who's had the best conference so far?
Definitely Microsoft.
What you just saw was only a glimpse.
I'm sorry, but
don't count EA.
On June 29th.
It wasn't a conference. But if you do what I did and just watch Star Wars and nothing else, it was a pretty good conference.
That's exactly what I did.
Best EA conference in years if you just stop there.
Only like 15 minutes too.
Yeah.
I mean, excellent music, great performances, goosebumps. If you like those things, I think those shows are going to be for you. But, of course, there's one show that we all came here to see, the Ubisoft E3 conference, and it's just about to start here
This venue
in the
looks
Orpheum
cool.
Theater in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it does.
Now the house is packed, and to give you folks at home
It's
an
like an
idea
opera house.
what that feels like, can I please hear the balcony people make some noise?
Yeah, I definitely want to talk to you kind of generally about the conferences maybe after this. If you want
that's
to,
cool.
because,
Now, if you please.
I do think Microsoft's was maybe a tad disappointing, but I still think it was a super strong conference overall. But it was just,
I think if we didn't have the leaks, it would have been more exciting.
Yeah, and that was a big thing that killed it. We were talking about like if we had no clue it was coming and you saw Miyazaki and George R. R. Martin, we'd be like, what the hell?
All right. Rainbow Six stuff. But they officially said that Skull and Bones game isn't going to be here, right?
They at least delayed it. They might have said it's not going to be here. I know they delayed it until next year.
That's been a weird one because we've known about it for so long.
Yeah, and then it's kind of like it wasn't going to have out of ship stuff, and then it seems like they were going to shove it in there. Okay, here we go.
Greatest city in the world. Well, used to be. Now it's a right mess. Government's fucked off. Extremists are grabbing power. Organised crime slicing up the boroughs. The war dogs are out. And freedom's a bloody joke. But this ain't their London. This is our London. and there's a new power growing. It's all of us, together. We're building a resistance, one recruit at a time.
What's
Oh,
my
already
favourite
in the
operative up
gameplay.
to this evening? And no, I never say that to the others.
Scouting talent, Bagley. So gob shut, eyes peeled, yeah?
I have no eyes, and if I did, I wouldn't peel them.
When I was reading some stuff about this game, I didn't know how I felt about it being a little bit into the future. But already, I think the game makes more sense than any of the other
Bloody
ones.
trolls are everywhere,
But like,
kicking our fucking teeth.
It has like a
Anti-government.
light cyberpunk feel
Yeah.
to it.
Deal with drones.
Cyberpunk light.
Brilliant. Never would have thought of that.
You're clear. Sod off.
All right, easy. I'm complying.
Impressive skill set.
Sure, but we need a drone expert, Raj, not a shit kicker. File that one away for later.
so I guess this guy is your main character, and then you can switch to NPCs like they've been saying.
Yeah, that's what I saw in the leaks. I didn't completely understand how that was gonna work.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
It's a total disgrace. Mercenaries patrolling
You just hack people's minds or something.
Or is like everyone part of the resistance?
Or that.
Well now,
Jimmy Shaw. No formal engineering training, but he has several mischief charges for hijacking Albion drones.
Hold still. Fuck you, man. You got no right.
I love the Cockney British accents already.
fucking hell. Find our drone expert and he's about to get himself nicked.
Just puts on helmet.
Definitely not
Dead set, get out of it!
obviously.
Yeah, no one knows who it is.
He was a skull mask with a crown.
See,
That seems pretty identifiable.
I remember seeing people talk about how like the violence and shooting and stuff in Watch Dogs 2 just didn't make any sense because you're
Oh,
so
yeah.
chill. So I feel like they can at least justify.
Even from the little bit I
violence.
played, I kind of agree with that. Like you go kill a bunch of people, then you go
Right.
to the next scene. It's like, oh, it's just a bunch of like teens or college
bros.
Yeah, just hanging
Hacking
out,
bros.
watching a trailer for this movie. And yeah, it almost seemed like they didn't really want to make a shooter game
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the story, but they just that's the only thing they knew how to do.
When were you planning to tell me about the bloody checkpoint?
Oh, there's a checkpoint.
When I tried to play the game, like I tried to just do all the hacking kind of stealth stuff, but inevitably it gets into a shootout.
A lot of
I will already say visually that it looks about like Watch Dogs 2. Maybe I haven't seen Watch Dogs 2 in long enough.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think it looks especially impressive.
Yeah,
Oh, he just died.
could still be fun.
So I guess
Is
you're
this where we're
switching
gonna
to
switch?
another-
Yeah.
Fuck. We lost Ian. He's gone.
Or is he just gone and now we like permadeath?
Huh.
Lay to rest. Oh, okay, so
That's interesting.
you're just like every single time you die, you're gonna play as someone else.
Yeah.
Oh, old granny. Hell yeah, let's go.
Evening, isn't it?
I used to feed the
I wonder
birds
like how
here.
many of these they could
Now
have
they're
though, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
you have
think
to
about
have
the voice
voice
actors.
lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
March of progress, everything dies eventually.
Eventually, even you, Bagley, I'm sure.
Especially if this happens for the whole story, so like anytime someone dies, you have to be able to have the other person
Bagley, a little
Yeah.
respect.
pick
And I
up
mean,
voice
Let's
lines.
finish what he started. He was
After
working
how
on a
many
new
deaths
recruit,
do you
a
just
drone
run out?
That's promising.
There must be
What do we
like
know
a
about
limit or
it?
it starts
Albion
repeating or
sent me
something.
just before Ian was killed. I should be able to predict his next move from that data. Unfortunately, his records are locked up tight
I
to
mean,
your
it
compression
is kind of
settings.
cool though. It's like
Oh yeah.
one character dies and then you just have to finish out with another.
Albion's even
It makes
Person
it feel
resistance.
more like a big resistance.
Yeah.
Where
matters. And there's my way in.
I love this music going here.
I just like that like the Watch Dogs devs are like, oh, you don't like the protagonist? Well, here's 50 protagonists. You're bound to like some
Take
one of
this.
them.
Sleep tight.
But what if you're like, you survive so long as the granny and then you finally die and you're like, no.
Yeah, honestly,
Granny.
it's like XCOM or something. where
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have
Let's
favorites.
race over there, Bagley. Chop, chop.
Man, I spent half the game as the granny.
We getting a release date, Darby? You think?
I think so.
Ready for
It
some
seems like they're
action,
going
Naomi?
pretty in depth.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
Crew better be worth all
I mean,
the
I'd
trouble.
imagine. You think this fall?
According to the Scotland Yard
I can
records,
see it.
Jimmy's sister was killed by Clan
This
Kelly,
fall's
who
racking
believed
up,
he's
if
seeking his
so.
revenge inside Camden Market.
And next, the spring 2020 is crazy right now.
Yes, the
Yeah, I was
Kellys
gonna
are
say,
rumored
I
to
feel like
have
they
all
might
sorts
be
of illicit
better
goods
in
out of
fall
the
than
old
spring.
stables, some with
Yeah.
fingers and toes.
If they could hit October, that would be great.
If he's gone in there alone, he's in big trouble.
I
Kelly's
definitely
got
want to see
this place
Jeff
on
since he
full
played
lockdown.
2. I want to see what he thinks about this.
I have an idea.
It's funny because we saw Watch Dogs 1 right before the next generation. And now we're seeing Watch Dogs 3 right before the next generation.
Yeah.
Although I guess this is definitely current gen.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is going to be current. Watch Dogs is one of those, like, especially in hindsight, you go back and look at it, it's like, yeah, this was so obviously not
Yeah.
the current gen.
Now, Naomi, we've already lost one operative, so try not to get killed, or we'll be in the red for the day.
Copy that.
But you know people are going to go in here and just test, like, I'm just going to die over and over and
Yeah.
over again and
Kotaku
test
article
the
already.
limits of this game.
I mean, I do like the showing. I like that they opened with, like, him dying, pretty much.
Yeah, that's a cool way of showing the concept. But I just wonder if it's going to be one of those things where none of the voice acting can be that crazy because you have to have 50 different ones. Like, are we going to feel attached to anyone? Or does it really matter? Yeah.
True.
The Kellys are moving loads of weapons out of here. Not your typical back alley shanks.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could happen both ways, because on one hand, I mean, the people in XCOM don't really have personalities, but you can still feel close to them.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you also run into the danger of just not caring for anyone.
Yeah, but that kind of stuff definitely happens on Fire Emblem and XCOM. But this is just such a different type of game for that to be a thing. But
Lots of hugs and kisses.
I wonder if they're gonna have like certain things like, can you switch between the characters so I can like have this character do something and then it sets up something for the other character to come in?
That'd be cool.
Or is it all just like, you know,
only on death?
Yeah.
Some sort of GTA kind of stuff. Like
Yeah,
GTA 5,
yeah. That would be cool. What if like you have to sacrifice one of them so that the other one could go through somewhere? It's like, oh shit.
I mean, that would have some cool ramifications. I just don't know how you would do that with that many people.
On your feet, mate.
Yeah, because when they went into that screen, there was a
Hope you're
bunch of
sharper
them.
than you look.
Jesus Christ! Someone beat these dead set pricks! Back up! I need back up!
And I guess you could. I mean, if that is the case, then you should be able to like specialize their skill sets and stuff like that.
Maybe, but yeah, that's a lot of different characters to
Yeah.
Does the rolling help?
Yeah, I think we're absolutely getting a release date with all of this.
Yeah.
I do kind of like the futuristic look of it, though. The vibe.
Well, we showed those fucks, didn't we?
We almost died out there tonight.
Look, thanks for helping me, but I can handle myself.
Right. You think you're better off alone. You think everyone else has given up and there's no one to trust. That's what they want you to think, and that's how they'll take us, one at a time. It doesn't have to be that way. Together, we can change things.
So you recruit people, I guess, as part of the story.
Wait, what happened to that bloke who helped me?
He didn't make it.
I'm just thinking about the sheer amount of cutscenes they have to make. Like
Well,
you
yeah,
have
like
to
the
have
branching.
You have to have cutscenes for all these characters and a cutscene for if the guy survives or if he doesn't, if he lives. Like,
Yeah, exactly. And
I
now,
really want to know like how they're.
so now you're playing as this guy. You're
Welcome to
recruit.
DedSec, James.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so where do I go to meet the rest of the crew?
You don't need to go anywhere. Look around you.
Like I'm
Everyone
wondering,
has a reason
are there going to
fight.
be some limitations of this because of the sheer amount of voice acting and stuff we had to do?
Welcome to the Resistance.
I certainly like the idea, but that seems very...
It's very ambitious.
Yeah.
It is super duper ambitious. And it's one of those ideas that could end up really cool, or it could be like, yeah, you shouldn't have done this. Like,
in a few years, maybe that'll be possible.
I'm just worrying that like none of them will feel like you won't. It'll be limited to what you can do because you had to record these same lines 50 freaking times.
I'm sure we'll get some details later.
Or right now. Maybe
Maybe
this dude.
Thank you. Thank you. Guess I'm going to make you all wait so long. I should really knock it out of the park, huh? I'm Clint Hawking. I'm the creative director of Watch Dogs Legion.
Watch Dogs 2 was
And
2016.
for the past few years, the team and
Sounds
I have
right.
had the privilege to work on a game and an innovation that we are very proud of. Watch Dogs Legion is set in London, one of the greatest cities in the world, and it's had a massive
Also, the fact that
influence
they're
on
dropping
all
the
of our
number
culture
definitely kind of
for
makes it seem
centuries.
like this is a spin-off, like experimental
Today,
game.
With Brexit,
That's fair.
London's at a turning point. It's hard to predict what the future holds for London, for the UK, or for the world. But history has proven time and again that where London goes, all of us go together. In our near future, London is facing her downfall. The UK has become a surveillance state, and freedom has been replaced with fear. Armed drones patrol the streets, deportation squads rip people from their homes, and Granddad is using crypto to buy a new kidney on the black market. But Londoners never surrender. Their resilience and determination is an inspiration to us all, and they are the heroes of our game. All of them. In Watch Dogs Legion, your mission is to build a popular resistance to fight back against the emergence of an authoritarian regime. This means you don't just play as one hero, but many. And in Watch Dogs Legion, you can recruit and play as anyone.
What's that mean? Please explain.
It means we had a lot of VO boosts time.
I've seen people describing
In
like
our game,
you can play as
every
any
Londoner
NPC,
is
but
fully simulated
that sentence doesn't
with
even
a
make
persistent
sense.
life and
You can play
relationships,
as
and anyone from the
any
entire
PC.
population can be recruited into your team. Find them, profile them, hack into their lives, play their origin mission, and win them over to your cause. The heroes you recruit
they
are
all have
unique
missions?
characters with different backstories and personalities, fully voiced and animated, and they are the stars of your story.
Good lord.
I feel like they're
Every
promising too much.
cinematic in the game will
Yeah.
change depending on whether you're playing a former MI5 action hero, a 70-year-old granny you saw feeding pigeons in the park, or anyone in between.
Yeah, it's one of those. I
However
don't know
you
to
wanna
be
play,
excited or skeptical on both.
whatever you wanna
Yeah.
be, Watch Dogs Legion lets you be that. You want to make a team of classic British spies? No problem. You want to be a crew of street-savvy kids from the council block? Do it. You want to go hipster, body mod, Afro-punk, gangsta? Awesome. The women of Bletchley Park? These ladies fucking invented hacking!
Granny hackers.
Play as Anyone is the innovation that transforms a story about freeing London and the world from the grip of tyranny into a game about the heroes that live in each of us. Because being a hero isn't just a job for someone else anymore. It's a job for everyone. So on behalf of the Watch Dogs Legion's team here and around the world,
So is it gonna be one of those things where there's like not that much of a main story? It's one of those you just do all
Yeah,
these like
forever.
like all these like the vast majority of the game is just doing these different
Right. It makes me
people.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if there is a
Like,
story ending.
There has to be a catch. Like there has to be some way they were able to do this where it
Now it's all right.
makes sense.
Bombings. And people thrown in cages.
Now, I'm
like
not even
animals.
saying that would necessarily be a bad thing. You could like
No, it's
you could tell an overarching story through all these different narratives. But it kind of sounds like you can do it in whatever order you want. Like it just kind of sounds like do whatever you want. You know?
It's up to us to
yeah,
take our
a lot
city
of
back.
unanswered questions for this game.
Thing is, we can't do it alone. We need to recruit a resistance. I know what you're thinking. Where do we start? Open your eyes and take a look
I wonder
around.
if it's one of those things where you have to like
Look here. Look at
recruit
him.
like
No, not him.
10 people, and then go on the next story
Former
mission.
MI5.
25 people, next story mission.
Well, maybe they lead you in an order. Maybe it's not as like free roam as it seems, but
Anyone. See her?
Let's kick those bastards out of London.
She got kicked out of Oxbridge Robotics School for teaching him to reproduce.
I mean, this is a really good showing. It's just,
That fella over there?
will it live up to it?
Come on, come at me. He'll crack your skull just for looking at him funny.
Yeah, so it does seem like they have specializations.
This had better be fucking good.
And allow me to introduce you to the deadliest of the lot.
Hell yeah.
She's not old, she's experienced.
Amazing.
Like I said, you can recruit anyone, and I mean bloody anyone. Him, her, everyone is a secret weapon.
I mean, they're certainly doubling down on literally anyone.
Yeah, like,
Them.
they,
Build the resistance.
yeah, it's not vague wording. They're like,
Yeah.
test us on this. Like, it's everyone.
Let's unfuck this world.
I hope there are children in the game. Children assassins.
Little birds.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I can't fit through this small vent. There would be a kid.
Give me that date. Alright.
Okay.
Spring.
So this spring next year. Alright, you have my attention, Watch Dogs.
I'm
Like,
certainly
in theory, like, before this, I do not think I would be that interested in Watch Dogs in the next Watch Dogs, at least not right away. But you have my attention, for sure.
Now they have to do something we already know about. Oh, It's Always Sunny.
Oh shit.
Is this freaking what's it? Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Why?
It's Always Sunny RPG.
My name is Rob McElhenney, and for the past
I love
14
this guy.
years, I have been making a television show called It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Telltale presents.
They're
I'm
back.
here today because I love games, and I wanted to express that love in the only way that I know how, save for playing them, and that is to make a TV show about them.
Oh.
More importantly, the people who create those games and the people who play them. So last year,
Wait, I've heard of this,
I
actually.
called the funniest people that I
He's
knew,
making a
Charlie Day, Megan Gans,
show
and
about
David
video game
Hornsby,
developers.
all executive producers on Sunny, and we started talking. We realized very early on that if we were going to do this, we wanted to do it right and to be as authentic as possible, because, as you all know, nobody smells bullshit like this particular community. So we did the right thing. We partnered with Ubisoft, and away we went. It has been an
Ubi,
incredible
the great
experience
debate.
working with one of the biggest and best game developers in the world to inspire us, because our show takes place in the fictional studio that created the biggest MMORPG in the world, Mythic Quest. And we meet them
It's Sword Art
on the
Online.
cusp of releasing their biggest expansion yet, Mythic Quest: Raven's Banquet. The show follows the team of devs as they navigate the challenges of running their game while dealing with the difficulties of modern office life. These people are truly stuck together, yet they grind it out day after day for the love of the game. And at the head of that team is my character, creative director, Ian Grimm. Like,
I can't wait to see Charlie Day's
most
character.
creative directors, he's gifted, driven, and tirelessly dedicated to his game. And like most of the creative directors that I've met, he has an ego the size of a city bus. I'm gonna get my ass kicked backstage because there's a lot of creative directors here. Joking aside, it is clear that those creative directors and the thousands of people who work on these games put everything that they can into them. They recognize that they have a tremendous opportunity and responsibility.
It's a
They
great
must do
picture.
everything in their power to ensure that the games are nothing short
Kind of
the
a
best that
weird
they can
E3
make,
announcement, but
because
I
that
like it.
is what
I'm interested.
Yeah.
you deserve. I promise you that in making this show, we took the same approach.
I wonder if we'll get a trailer.
So without further ado,
Yeah. let's hope.
here is a brief look
Well, they
into
had
our upcoming TV
Joseph
series
Gordon-Levitt
for
last
Apple TV+,
year.
Yeah, that's
And him
right.
this year.
Raven's Banquet.
Okay.
Mythic Quest.
Okay.
See it.
What is Mythic Quest? Some may say it's just a video game.
When it first debuted, MQ was hailed as a masterpiece. Now played in 20 different countries on 6 continents, it's the biggest massive multiplayer role-playing game of all time.
Gothic Kings.
And
First I
today,
thought it said Gothic
they
Kids.
find themselves on the precipice of their first major expansion, Mythic Quest: Raven's Banquet. And it all falls on the shoulders of one man, creative director Ian Grimm.
When we think about cultural touchstones, we think E.T., Star Wars, Avatar, and yet our industry dwarfs the traditional entertainment business. So when we think about legends, why not think Mythic Quest?
True indeed. And when we think of visionary world-building artists, instead of just Spielberg, Lucas, and Cameron, why not think Grimm?
I'm sorry, I gotta stop. What is this?
It's a commercial for the game.
It's a commercial for you.
It's still going.
Oh my god. This is insane.
I think it's brilliant.
This is super weird.
As an Is Always Sunny fan, I'm game for it.
I mean, like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. I'm just worried it's gonna be just like way too corny and cheesy.
Yeah.
Not funny enough.
Stereotypical.
But
Rainbow Six.
it's in pretty good hands.
Hey there, my name is Parker Intero Mackay, esports caster for Rainbow Six Siege. There are so many exciting things to come in Year 4. In-game events, map reworks, playlist updates, a roster of 52 unique operators, and of course, a thriving esports scene. Starting tomorrow, you'll be able to enjoy our 13th season, Operation Phantom Sight. This major content update brings 2 new operators to Team Rainbow, Nook and Warden. After this show, be sure to stick around for an intense celebrity match starring T-Pain, Lil Yachty, and some of your favorite Twitch streamers for the Twitch Rivals Celebrity Show Match.
Rainbow Six
right
in a
now,
while.
here's
I
a
still
glimpse
have it
of the
though.
new season in
I
action.
do enjoy playing.
Thank
I
you,
just
everyone, and have a great E3.
usually like playing with a full squad. It's pretty crazy. There are like 52 operators now or something. Or 50 maybe. They say they want to get to 100, so. Yeah.
Yeah, Overwatch is about to hit 30.
Yeah.
Get the like league that has like 120 or something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'll be super curious as to how they handle. Is that Hitman?
It sounded like 007 music for a second. I thought it was good. Da, da, da.
It's like an MI6 character.
His stash.
Dude, I love it. I love this. I wonder what country he is.
The music is very like MI6
Yeah.
007 type thing.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
That mustache. Can't get over it.
I can't wait to see his other costumes.
The silencer pistol is very 007. Yeah. Look at all this. That is so 007. Holy shit.
U.S. Secret Service.
That's awesome. Clutch Royale. What a name, too.
Dude, I love that. The Secret Service have their own character.
That's awesome. I don't even like know all that much about Rainbow Six, but that's awesome.
Yes, they have like every country has operators. Okay. So
they had not done U.S. yet.
They have different U.S. forces though.
Oh, okay.
They have like one guy from
That's what you get when you take on the Brawl Hall of
the
Master.
Marines or whatever, and then they have SWAT people.
1v1 me, bro. For real.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I'll toast your buns again, sure. Want to choose a different character? Yeah, I choose
The British show will have something to say about us, like stealing 007 though. And making
Yeah,
it
I wonder if they will get into my six character now.
to rival him.
Yeah.
I think this was leaked or announced before or something that Adventure Time's going to be in Brawlhalla, which is kind of random, but interesting. I guess people play Brawlhalla.
I'd heard of it. I just don't really.
I mean, it's like a Smash clone.
Okay.
No, I've never actually played it. It might be good. I don't know.
I've never watched Adventure Time either, though.
Yeah, I haven't either.
It's a little too weird for me.
Yeah, a lot of people like it. I've never really tried it.
Brawlhalla is multiplayer, I guess. It's on everything.
I think so. I think it's on pretty much everything. I think it has like a lot of different like crossover characters in it. It's kind of crazy. And I think, yeah, I was about to say, I think it's free to play.
No, man. Brawlhalla. Oh. Hey, welcome to Brawlhalla. This game is
Available today. Shadow Drop.
It's another Shadow Drop. Well, there was the Elder Scrolls Blades, I guess, counts as Shadow Drop. That's a Shadow Drop, and then your engagement is another Shadow Drop.
Yeah.
You know?
Shadow Drop that ring.
Congrats, by the way. That's awesome. I am mad at you. We were in Garden City at the same time. I had no clue. Even in the picture, I'm pretty sure I was like, know where they are.
You have a place on there?
My grandpa was renting a place for like my whole family was down there. Where you buy like the Kingfisher Inn. It's in that like central place.
I'm not quite sure actually.
We're not in that inn, but we're on that street, like down to the right.
We're like a couple minutes past Sam's Corner. So.
Oh yeah, Sam's Corner is right in front of Kingfisher. Okay. So yeah, we were close. We were very close.
And there is brotherhood.
All right, John Bernthal, what you got for
But then
me?
there is what the world needs. These ghosts, they are the past. They still serve the machine that we left behind. And right now, for the future, the world needs.
Was Kevin Spacey the first like mainline actor that had his likeness in a game?
I'm honored.
I have no clue.
I'm honored to be here with you
I
tonight.
remember thinking that was super weird at the time.
And now it's becoming more and more of a trend.
Yeah.
Well, Cyberpunk was like, Kojima, you think you're hot shit with Mads Mikkelsen? Well, Keanu Reeves.
Seriously. And then like that Infinity Warfare or whatever had
Kit Harington. Yeah.
John Bernthal now.
To take victory. You will be on a battlefield.
Even the Jedi Fallen Order is
Yeah,
that guy from Shameless. I mean, he's not nearly as big as these other guys.
Too. I guess it's just easier to do the facial animations that way.
Well, it's also just video games are getting to the point where they're big enough to have like, oh, this actor's in this game. You know, that's probably gonna start becoming more and more of a thing. Is like, oh, that game has an awesome cast. You know.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's a dog.
What's going on, everybody? Hey, I'm
John. It's John Bernthal. I didn't even notice.
Bam Bam the dog.
And Bam Bam.
You be bringing out two celebrities.
Yeah, I know. Best E3 guest.
Here with you guys today. Thank you. I love you too. Right on.
You're
This is
breathtaking.
awesome. This has been really great and exciting, and I'm really.
I like to think that John Bernthal
here.
met Keanu this weekend.
I'm enormously proud to be part of the development of this
Keanu
game.
comes out there and like,
It's a pleasure to work with the Ubisoft team.
does a wrestling move on him or something.
You know, I've had the chance to play some pretty strong, tough men over the years. I've played a deputy fighting zombies, special
and the
special
show
forces soldier
got
who
worse
lost
when you
everything. And now I get to play Cole D. Walker. He's a skilled former special operations soldier with his own sense of responsibility.
Yep, that's a
his own
soldier
moral
name if
code.
I've ever heard one.
say,
Cole D. Walker.
Very generic.
He loves his brothers, his fellow soldiers, but he is willing to do whatever it takes to complete his mission and take control of Aroa. There is no briefing. There's no backup. You will not face a group of bad guys or a criminal organization. You will face an entire army. My army, the Wolves. We've got the numbers, we've got the organization, and remember, we trained alongside you. The weaponry of a fully operational special ops detachment. Trust me, there's an unparalleled arsenal of high-tech weapons in Aroa. So if you think you have what it takes, strap on your boots, and you get ready to take on the wolves. And take on me.
I read that you won't have AI companions anymore, which is kind of sad. I like my AI companions for once.
Yeah, that's a rare. That's a rare thing.
Are perfect predators. They have the knowledge.
Did you play it solo or with people mostly?
Mixed. I think. Yeah, I don't know. It probably was half and half. So I ended up platinuming that game, so it was a lot of both.
They have the technology, but we have the skills to even the odds.
Well, they were wearing like Night's Watch uniforms, and he had like furs.
They have an army, but we fight with our brothers and sisters.
Yeah, apparently instead of the AI companions, you just have like drones that have guns on them, so they can do like the sync shots and stuff on their own.
That's cool.
Okay. Yeah, so it doesn't take away the gameplay, I guess.
Yeah.
We are ghosts.
This is another November game. I forget about this one. There's so many games.
Never die.
Like Death Stranding, this Call of Duty.
Death Stranding is like wild that it's coming out in November.
It's insane. Yeah, that's the stuff I've been able to talk to you about that. I think like I'm proud of Sony for keeping that a secret. Because I just assumed that was at least next year.
I don't need, like...
Probably, like, late next year.
In some ways, I'm kind of, like... Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't have just waited, honestly, for the next gen, but...
Like I said, I think it's going to be a little bit of a smaller game than we think.
That's true. Maybe not exactly a launch title.
When we first announced the game, you were very excited. And after discussions with members of our community, I today announce that with our post-launch plan, we will be bringing back our AI teammates for our
There you go, Will.
Thank you, Ubi.
They just made that change. They were listening into this, and they made that change in the last, like, 30 seconds.
Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
That's hilarious.
We want to go the extra mile with how we
really
engage with you. So I'm pleased to announce a brand new community program that will allow you to express and share your passion. Welcome to Ghost Recon Delta Company.
I wonder how many changes that makes for the game. Like, have to put AI companion into it.
So is she saying, like, did they come out and say, like, we're not doing this or something?
Yeah, I mean, like, it wasn't in any of the gameplay before. I thought it was officially said.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that she came out there and said that makes it seem like it was...
different detachments, with lots of content to support you, as well as direct discussions with our studio. So head over to our Ghost Recon Breakpoint website to find out more, and hear from you soon, Delta Ghosts. Thank you very much.
That's just really funny that you were saying, I really wish they had the AI companions.
Well, now I'm definitely in.
They just didn't. They just said they weren't gonna do it just so they could have the moment of saying, "Okay, we'll put it in."
Thank you, Laura. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
The Ghost Recon team has always taken great pride from your passion for our games, and that passion is what pushes us to deliver the best Spec Ops experience out there. Behind enemy lines, you will be fighting the most dangerous enemies the Ghosts have ever faced, constantly testing your survival skills. Yes, we can't wait to welcome you in Ghost Recon Breakpoint on October 4th. And
October.
1 month before that,
Is that what he said?
our beta will be live on September 5th.
Oh, okay, I thought it was in November. That must have been there.
You can register on our website right now for a chance to participate. Ghost Recon
You gonna register online now for a chance to participate, Will?
Oh, maybe later. Single person clapping.
Did you watch the Bethesda one with that guy? Yeah!
He was so annoying.
Yeah!
Did you see Jason Schreier replied to me?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, I know. Jason will be vicious with you on Twitter, so be careful.
He's just been really... I think he's been over E3 as a thing for the past few years.
Yeah.
And it is very clear.
Yeah. Like, in some ways I get some of the complaints of it, but there's also, I feel like some of the people that like, shit on E3 are just like, screw you for having fun. It's like,
yeah,
how dare you be, like, enjoying this?
Why are you excited about this?
Yeah, it's like, alright, I mean, it's not...
That's all it was trying to say.
Doesn't really hurt anyone, I mean...
Yeah, exactly.
Will you survive your breakpoint? Alright, see you all out there. Have a good one.
I will have a good one. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Paris. What now? Splinter Cell. Every time.
Yes.
Mobile.
No, it's a Ghost Recon thing.
Splinter Cell.
It's just a Ubisoft
That's what I've been waiting
crossover.
for.
Here you go. You did it, Will. It's back.
Oh yeah, because that's Rainbow Six.
No, they should do more.
Yeah, it's everything. That's funny.
Honestly, Ubisoft should do more. Just like big, like they have enough games now to do like a bunch of big Ubisoft crossover games. Like
Well, not only do
absolutely.
you have, like,
I wish it wasn't a mobile game. I wish they would do this on like a kart racing. I would. Man, why not?
Yeah, this is fun. So it's the Clancy verse that they're doing. So, but honestly, like if they weren't planning something Splinter Cell and they put him in this, I feel like that's just rude.
It is rude. It is very rude. I think it's gonna happen. It's just apparently it at least still wasn't in development, or it just took a while to get in development. With so many other things that have been brought back, I feel like it will be.
Chaos strikes.
I did always like the idea that somehow like third echelon in Splinter Cell was kind of like a future version of the Assassins. I always like merging them together like that.
Every Ubisoft game exists in the same universe, even
Watch
Rabbids.
Pre-register now.
But they should do this not just with Tom Clancy. They should just do a Ubisoft, like, complete Ubisoft crossover.
That wasn't a terrible presentation for that game.
Oh, yeah.
It's a mobile game, so I don't care about it, but...
It's a good start.
10 years.
Is this Just Dance or something?
10
Probably.
Yep, yeah, in the corner.
Yep.
That's a lot of dancing.
Are we gonna get Old Town Road?
We better.
If we don't, I'm upset.
Yep. Me too. Wrangler on my booty.
It's not for us or for you.
Probably some
I mean, like,
Rocket
I will
Man.
never play Just Dance in my life, but usually Just Dance in the Ubisoft conference is usually pretty fun.
It's basically halftime.
Yeah.
Danced, and our friend Eddie Rodriguez danced for
Halftime show.
millions, bringing together generations. We danced.
Damn right.
And they set world records. Do you remember Carrie? Yep. Of course we do, because we were with her.
What was that game called that they just showed, the mobile one? You know?
And I know we're gonna
I
have
don't.
much more of these
I'm sorry, we were
moments
talking too
because
much.
dance is a force. It's
I appreciate you taking this.
It unites.
I like marking the games.
Yeah. Definitely helps for discussion.
Dance is more than just dance.
Gotta be here in case things fall apart.
And get ready for what's next.
That should have been one of our bets. Will Old Town Road be played in the Just Dance concert thing?
Honestly.
Should have been.
That's
Jeff probably doesn't know what that song is.
The kind of funny guys were talking about that yesterday. They were like, so what game is going to debut with the Old Town Road?
Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Cyberpunk. Oh, that pin. The Mortal Kombat crossover, there's katana blades.
Oh, Just Dance. Never stop.
Skibidi.
Oh, I thought those were Terminator eyes in Ghost Recon. It was. Why are there so many Terminator things?
I'm about to say, like, yeah, that's 2 different games, two straight days, 2 straight Terminator DLCs. It's weird. They really want people to go see that new movie.
Oh, apparently.
They're desperate.
What? Is there a movie coming out?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It has old Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen any Terminator movie past Terminator 2.
Yeah, I don't think I have either. Actually, I don't even think I've seen the original. I think I've only seen Terminator 2.
I've seen 1 and 2, but it's been so long. I need to rewatch it and see how it holds up.
T2 was awesome.
And I've forgotten like a lot of things because I haven't seen it in years.
This looks For Honor related.
Yeah. Good call.
Oh, but it's not a new one or anything.
It's an event. Japanese themed, it appears. With the samurai.
There's an old tale about this village. A samurai came to deliver justice.
Sekiro.
But darkness clouded her mind.
Sekiro's old news. It's Elden Ring now. Can we just appreciate just how... Just like Sekiro just came out and FromSoft is already showing their new game. It's like, good God.
I remember there were rumors for a while that they were working on 2 games at the same time.
Yeah, I'm just saying that studio just... And Dark Souls 3 was only like a year and a half or 2 years before that.
I read a tweet where they've released Dark Souls 1 through 3, Bloodborne, and Sekiro, and announced this new game since 2011.
Good Lord. It's insane. They're all like really good games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think someone said like, I think they were saying like, yeah, FromSoft has released like 4 different games in the time since Final Fantasy VII Remake was first announced, and like until now.
Yeah, I mean they know what they're doing over there.
But even though the wait was stupid and ridiculous, Final Fantasy VII Remake does have a release date, and we're seeing it tonight.
True.
And I'm pretty excited.
And she's brought a curse that will doom us all.
Did you read that interview for Elden Ring?
Nah, I was working today. I didn't have time.
They said that it was... who was it? Miyazaki's name?
Yeah.
He was saying that it was open world, or at least more open world than their previous games.
Yeah, which that is very interesting.
Yeah.
But that's a very, very different from most of them. So I mean, so it said that George R. R. Martin had a decently big part. Because that's what I was wondering.
It basically said that he like wrote the lore. So what's this?
That's exciting. New IP maybe?
Maybe so. Did they have anything to do with the Darkness games? This kind of looks like that. Venom, the video game. Has Ubisoft made a horror game?
Oh, damn. Can you remember?
There he is. We found him. Take him. I'll cover you. He's going into stasis. Contact. Head to the extraction point.
Oh. Okay, so they did like Rainbow Six did like a zombie type of thing. I guess last year, a couple years ago.
Like just like a DLC type thing.
Yeah, it's like limited time things.
Hi.
Was
I'm
hoping for it to be a new
Bioshad,
game.
and I'm the lead game
Yeah, that's a
designer
little
on the
disappointing.
next
Why do you?
Rainbow Six game.
Oh well.
It's called Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Quarantine. I'm part of a new team in Ubisoft Montreal that set out on an exciting new mission. Create a radically redesigned co-op experience built on the foundations of one of the best shooters of this generation. What Siege is to the PvP shooter genre, we will be to PvE co-op. Quarantine will test your tactical skills and survival instincts, holding you and your operators.
How's your
on the
tactical skills
razor's
and
edge.
survival instincts, Will?
It
Could be
pulls you
better.
together as a squad, facing off against an unknown and devastating parasite. You will risk everything every time you step into quarantine. Stay tuned and start prepping for your next deployment. I can't wait to show you more, and have a great E3.
Thank you.
Thank you much.
Division.
Division.
Did you play the first one?
Did not. It's not usually my type of thing, but I mean, I'm sure if I had a group of friends, I'm sure it'd be fun. But doesn't really seem like it would be very good solo. But
Yeah. I didn't think the first one was very good solo.
maybe I'll give it a shot if it's like a PlayStation Plus game in a year or something. And friends on it.
We're almost at the hour mark.
Yeah.
They've shown like a lot of add-ons, but not too much for new games.
That's kind of what I expected. I mean, Ubisoft and Bethesda usually, they kind of have to rely on these add-ons a little bit more.
And to see
I mean,
our
at least Watch Dogs was cool. I hope they have another thing kind of like that to end on.
Yeah, for sure.
Or they'll end with yet another Beyond Good and Evil trailer. But no, they said that it's not going to be. Can we appreciate this guy's shirt, though?
That is something.
That is a shirt.
Edgy but cute.
Because
I enjoy it.
that this week only, between June 13th and June 16th, the Division 2
Yeah, at least
will be
my Bethesda
absolutely
notes
100% free for everyone to play.
Yeah. What have you thought about E3 so far?
And there's no better time to join us.
I would say disappointing, but not really, because I expected it not to be anything super special this year.
Yeah. I would say overall disappointing, but not like really disappointing. It's just mildly disappointing. Like, it's still, like, in comparison to most E3 years, I still think there's a lot going on. But it's end of a console generation.
Right.
It
I mean,
kind of makes
once we knew that Sony and EA were both dropping out, it's like, I feel like we knew what we were getting into.
Especially now in hindsight, it's like, yeah, they're probably dropping out because it's just no one really has.
Yeah.
Not many studios have a whole lot to say right now,
And if
because
they
when
have-
new consoles coming out in a year and a half.
Yeah, if they have surprises, they want to wait until next year.
Yeah. I mean, even like Microsoft's console reveal was more like, here's a bunch of information you already know, and then stay tuned to the next E3 when we actually tell you. Or
I
like
really
whatever.
thought they would at least give a name to
Yeah.
shout Sony.
Really, like, nothing they said was anything that we didn't either know or we could have guessed. Like, it's, you know.
Yeah, like I get not showing the box because you probably don't even have it made, but at least the name. I
When
felt
even
would be-
xCloud too, I thought, especially with Stadia coming out, I was like, okay, here Microsoft's going to kind of have their big blowout with that, but they were like, no, you can stream from your Xbox. All right, bye.
Yeah.
I mean, and now when you compare that to Stadia, it's like Stadia's on my phone, my computer, my console, my TV, like whatever. I can do whatever I want with it. I mean, Stadia definitely still has the upper hand, and I don't even feel great about Stadia 100%, but you know.
You gonna give it a
One
shot?
will take exploration,
I'm not gonna pay for it. I'll wait for the free.
and logic
Like, it's gonna be
to
free
uncover
next
the
year.
fate of a military convoy gone
Like
in
at
the
least the
dark.
console, you'd have to buy a game.
Now, episode
I'll
2,
probably try it with something
coming
small
this
to see
fall,
how it runs on my
we'll bring
internet.
to you the Pentagon.
I'm still, no matter what they say, I'm not convinced that it'll run good in South Carolina internet. It's just like, just not convinced.
It has fallen
And like
to
when they have
politics,
like Mortal Kombat in there, it's like that's a joke. No one's gonna be playing fighting games on streaming. You know, it's just.
secure what lies behind the walls
EVA
of
is
this
now
last
Stadia
castle.
only.
But this
What
will
is?
be the greatest danger
EVA
you
is
face
that
in
what it's
episode
called?
2.
The fighting.
Oh, Evo.
Evo.
God, then Evo would die.
Stadia exclusive.
In other news, Evo is dead.
Watching you tackle the first raid.
But like me and Jeff have been saying over and over again, almost all my problems with Stadia would be solved if they would just have a download option. Because then, like, even if my internet doesn't work very good or whatever, okay, it doesn't matter because I can download it and have the same experience I'd always have. Because then at that point, all my PC games, I would get them with Stadia, no brainer. Because like then, okay, I have the option to do streaming if I'm out somewhere and I want to just try it on my phone. I have that option, so it'd be a no-brainer. But like the fact that you have to rely on your internet and you have no other option, that's what makes it a gamble.
I feel like it would make more sense if it was that what everyone was thinking, that like Netflix for games type of model. Then I think the streaming would make sense.
That too,
you would have that like you'd have to sacrifice that.
Well, and that's the other problem is they advertised first. They were like Stadia Pro, $10 a month, and they like pushed that as the big thing. You don't get any games for that.
Yeah.
If you pay that, like, and a lot of people like thought that because it was not very clear. It seems like that should be like a game service, but it's not. You have to pay that $10 a month and you get 4K, but you have to have a TV and a monitor that can handle 4K anyway. Like, that's not for many people. It was kind of confusing.
But training doesn't prepare you to hunt someone you used to call.
But I still do think, and let me know if you care about this. Character, stop talking. But I still think, in the long run, like right now, or at least next year, whenever it's free, Stadia offers you the ability to just pay $60 and play a game without having to spend any money for a console. And that's huge.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, that's huge. That's a way cheaper entry point than having to go out and buy a PS4 or an Xbox or anything. Like, it could still be a very, very big deal.
Yeah, and then, like, theoretically, you wouldn't have to upgrade to a new console or anything like that.
Yeah, because Google will update their hardware, and there's nothing you have to do. As long as it works, it could be huge. Even if me and you and Jeff and people who pay way of attention to this and like to have consoles and stuff, it might not ever be our main thing, but I think it could.
I mean, it definitely does seem to be on par with what Microsoft is thinking with their like play anywhere model. It's just they didn't say that very well.
Right, but like it seems like Stadia is doing more of the play anywhere than Xbox is. Xbox, you still can only really stream from your box. I'm sure like they'll get there, but I think just Xbox was not as far along as we thought they were on some of this stuff.
And Bethesda had their own like Orion. I don't know what that even
Yeah,
was.
and that's like that. It honestly, it seems like it's something more for developers on the back end. So it was kind of a weird thing to advertise to us. But I mean, it's still. I mean, it kind of is basically like our games will stream really well because we have this cool software. I mean,
new subscription service on PC called Uplay Plus.
Oh, I've heard of this.
Everyone has a subscription service at this point.
Yeah, but it's definitely gonna bust.
You'll get earliest available access to new games, including the premium editions with all
This
their
sounds like a bad
additional
idea, though.
content.
This sounds like
And
what
you can
EA
enjoy
used to
the
do with their
depth
online
of our PC
stuff.
catalog
Yeah.
that includes over 100 games and growing.
It's just like there's no way I'm gonna do like Game Pass and this, and it's just like I don't know if I care enough about specifically about Ubisoft to pay a
this
subscription.
might be good for Sony people.
$14.99 a month. If you sign up today,
And it's more expensive than Game Pass.
I'm still shocked that Sony has not come up with their own Game Pass system.
I know. Sony is seeming slow in some ways now, but
Maybe
I don't
they're
know.
just hoping till or waiting till PS5 to announce it, but that seems like a major deal with Xbox.
I don't know, and it's just getting better and better. Like now, I'm about to get it for the first time because now it's on PC. Like I haven't gotten Game Pass, but I'm absolutely going to now. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer at this point.
That's like legitimately something that next console cycle I would almost want to get a Xbox One just so I can play older games.
or at least just if you have a good PC now. Even if I'm probably never gonna have an Xbox, but I'm always gonna be paying for Xbox Live, Game Pass, because I can play all those games on my PC, and it's just so cheap for what you get.
Yeah.
And yeah, Sony doesn't really have anything to compare with it right now.
Yeah, I have no idea why they wouldn't just make PlayStation Now that. There's no reason not to.
And even, I mean, Game Pass has that kind of thing that I was talking about that the Stadia should. I think you can stream games and you can download games. And again, like, I really hope Stadia announces that at some point, that you can download games. Because then it's like, it's a no-brainer. I'll abandon Steam. Like, I'm not loyal to a platform on PC like some people are. Like, I don't care.
Access to our games and services. I'm pleased to announce that in 2020, Uplay Plus will be available on Stadia.
Well, speak of the devil.
Yeah.
So for Stadia, you literally just need a TV that has Chromecast, right?
Stadia is the new
Yeah, you have to have a
generation
Chromecast to
gaming
play on a
platform
TV
where you
or
can
just
play our
any
Stadia
laptop
games
or
from any
tablet or
device.
anything you can use.
A special thank
And
you
Chromecast
to
are
Phil
like
Harrison and
40
his
bucks or
team.
something.
Yeah, the cheapest
This
one's
is the
pretty cheap.
beginning of our partnership.
I mean, that is pretty incredible.
Oh yeah, I mean I could prop up my phone right here and play. Yeah.
Just need to carry around a Stadia controller
Thank you so
and you're good to go.
much.
It's
Have
pretty
fun
sweet.
playing.
And it doesn't even have to be a Stadia controller. It could be any controller. Yeah, yeah. Even PS4 and Xbox controllers can
I
work.
didn't even know that.
I mean, yeah, Stadia in theory is awesome. It just doesn't work.
Oh yeah.
This is the thing that was leaked.
Who was this by? Someone weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Rollerblading game. You never really think about it. I hope it's like arcadey and just knows, you know, kind of like dumb
I think
fun.
it's supposed to be like Rocket League, isn't it? I think it's
Not 100%. I just know that there is a rollerblading game. I don't know exactly what the deal is.
I was thinking that the developer for this game was strange.
Roller Champ. You'll probably. Yep.
Hello, future champions.
Hello.
My
Hi.
name is Stefan.
So they're
and I'm a
definitely
Hi, Stefan.
member
going
of
for
the
that hour
Roller
and a half mark, I
Champions team.
suppose.
Ubisoft Montreal.
All right, come on, bring it up. From the get-go, our ambitions with this game were
I
very
can't imagine
clear.
that this
We
is gonna
wanted
do
to
well.
create
But
something
you never
unique.
know.
We wanted to capture the intangible excitement of players preparing for the big game. The hype of team
Could be
play
fun.
and
So did we
competition,
count it as
along with
Bethesda
the
apologizing?
craziness of high-speed
I
racing.
say no. I say that was a
Started working on
non-apology,
Roller
but
Champions,
we'll
a
see.
skill-based team PvP
Was the Watch
sports
Dogs
game
3
that
character
is as
too cool?
fun to watch
I'm
as
not.
it is
It's that's
to
Jeff. No, I can't say. And honestly, there's not a character. It's the
Yeah.
characters.
Is the nanny
One of
too
those.
cool?
One of those is about to be. Oh yeah. All right, you can go ahead. The nanny. I can tell you right now. The nanny's too cool.
And I got on stage giving my little speech. That's all.
There's
well,
infinite characters. There's gonna be
when will
two
you
cool.
ever get to
We
play
ended up
this?
getting a lot of double jumps at
How about
Microsoft actually
today?
because of Doom. Or no, I guess that was Bethesda, wasn't it?
Bethesda, yeah. But we definitely. I think you both had 2. I had 3, so I think I win that. Because there's definitely more than
When we're done
3,
here, I want
or
you
more
to
than
head
2 at
over
least.
to Uplay on your PC to download
Were there any
the
first-party
pre-alpha E3
games
demo
announced?
of
But
Roller
the double jumps was
Champions.
at Microsoft, though.
Play
Yeah.
the
Yeah, I know,
heck
yeah,
out of
Microsoft.
it for the next few
So it
days.
might not.
And when you're done, head to the forums
see.
to tell us what you thought. And you know
So
what?
we got Bleeding Edge
We
was a
firmly
new one.
believe that you will be screaming as loudly as our colleagues did when they first got to play test it back in Montreal.
You hear that,
But I
Will?
can't just
You're
leave
gonna
you with
scream when you play
So
this
here's
game.
a taste of what you should expect once you click that download button. Put your skates on. See you in the
All right,
arena.
this is your chance to sell me on being a roller champion.
Let me see it.
Yeah, sell us. I mean, Rocket League's fun, and I never would have thought that that would
Yeah,
work
it's
as
fair.
well as it does. So who knows?
I mean, it's clear that that's the people that go into it, I think.
Yeah.
So it is a scoring thing.
Yeah, I don't really know how it works. Is there like a racing element to it, or is it all just you gotta throw the ball in the hoop?
I think from what it looks like you have to wait until one of those things glows.
Do you have to keep going around the track? Like, can you only move forward?
Yeah.
Don't understand the rules, but it's Ys, so it doesn't matter. Hey, Ys.
Your best.
All right, is Miyamoto going to come out?
First, I want to say thank you to
his goggles
and put on his Mario hat at the same time. Just Splinter Cell Mario crossover.
Never saw it coming.
So first, I want to say thank you
Stealth
to
Mario.
all the Ubisoft teams around the world for your talent and energy. You know, congratulations for another great show.
I think we did have a bet about Nintendo Ubisoft, didn't we? I think I said no, so it might be right unless that's the one more thing.
Video games have a positive impact on all of us.
Unless it's at
and the
Nintendo.
world around us. At Ubisoft, our intention
It's traditionally
is
been
to
here.
create games that will make you stronger and happier in your life. When you play Ubisoft games, we hope you will spend quality time with family and friends and meet
He's
new
doing
inspiring
some reading
people.
today.
Learn more about yourself by doing and gain new perspective on the world and help shape it. So to everyone who plays our games, thank you for your love.
Thank you, Ys, Mr. Gilmont. I'm glad Vivendi didn't eat you. Oh.
You push us to always do better.
Definitely an alternate reality where we're getting ready for the Vivendi conference.
I'm very proud to announce a new project from an exceptional team in Quebec City. Please give a warm upload to Marc-Alexis Côté, who is coming to show you a sneak peek of his game.
What you got? What you got?
Skies, grass.
Okay, some grass. Animal Crossing.
Dreams.
Hello, everybody. Over the last 10 years, I've had the chance
Zelda.
to be part of an incredible team that has always pushed the limits of Assassin's Creed and shown us different periods of our past.
What is this, an Assassin's Creed
But
game?
our imagination has always been bound to the reality of the history books. These past 4 years, our minds have lingered on a different aspect of our history, mythology. The stories of the ancient gods and their misadventures have existed through generations of storytellers
for a
and
mythology game.
audiences and have transformed into tales that we still know and love today. Now, these stories have shaped our dreams, inspiring us to build something new, something that transcends the limits that we have always set upon ourselves. Today, I am very proud to have the chance to show you a glimpse, to show you a teaser of this brand new game that we've been working on. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you, and have a great E3.
It was all made in dreams.
Yeah, really. It does have kind of that Breath of the Wild look.
Heroes need help. They turn to the gods.
Link?
When gods need help, they turn to you.
stupid game is that? That's what I want to know.
Oh, come on. Is that it? So it's coming out in February, and that's all you're showing?
Man, that's the end.
That's weird, because... Like, think about all the games that we've seen. Is he about to rap? Okay, like the beat started playing.
It definitely sounded like it.
I really thought he was about to start spitting some bars. I mean, just think about all the games that we've seen. Think about all the games we've seen at E3 that are coming out in February and how much we saw of all of them. And then it's like, yeah, it's really weird for that to be your one more thing. It's a new thing that you have to sell us on, and that's how little you show. You know?
That ending left a bad taste in my mouth. I don't know why they would do that.
I mean, that game might be really cool, but like you have to like
show me a little more.
Sell us a little more, especially if you have a release date. I mean, go for
Yeah.
it. Like you have to have.
It's not
things.
a late release date. It's in a few months. 8 months.
Yeah, like they have to have like. Surely they know what the game is, and they have like enough gameplay and stuff to where they should have been able to show it. That's weird. It's a weird one. That's a weird one, Will.
Oof.
I should probably start like arm the recording before I do that. All right. Well, Will, are you ready to?
Let's talk.
Ubisoft.
About the lack of Splinter Cell.
Once again, another year down. Another no Fable, no Splinter Cell.
No Fable.
Hey, I got
the Fable is kind of surprising.
Yeah. But I got Final Fantasy VII Remake, so I can't get both.
Date.
I can't get both, so I gotta accept that. Alrighty. Well, I can try to, as we talk, go through this so that the people can see some of the conference. I think that's before the conference started. Where are we?
Should be like the hour 15 mark. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the symphony thing. Where are you, Watch Dogs? There you are. All right. Well,
Rob Shaw.
Let's do it. Let me just make sure. All right. Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
And welcome to our post-conference discussion for Ubisoft's 2019 E3 conference. I'm Darby Hallman.
I'm Will Outlaw.
And Will, we just watched Ubisoft's 2019 conference. We're going to kind of go through the different announcements and everything, but from a broad standpoint, what did you think about this conference?
It was okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think I don't have too many opinions myself.
They just showed us a whole bunch of add-ons for games we already know about, and it's fine, but it wasn't anything special at all.
Yep, it's kind of like I feel similar way about this than I do Bethesda, where it's like don't really know if they had enough for a conference, really. Like
yeah, which is weird because I feel like Ubisoft's are generally a lot better than Bethesda's conferences.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, this one was.
To be fair, I don't really like either conference this year, but I would say that Bethesda actually did have more. Like Bethesda had more to show this year than Ubisoft did.
For sure.
Yeah, it's weird, and there's definitely there's definitely things here for people, and honestly, I thought this was a very good showing for Watch Dogs Legion, barring there's still a lot of questions up in the air. But if we just look at the showing, it made me I'm way more interested in this than I have been in previous Watch Dogs games.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll get into that. But when you think back on it now, that was really one of the only real new things aside from Gods and Monsters at the end, which that could be really cool, but it's
why would that be
so little?
Why would that be the one more thing?
Well, and if it's gonna be that, and you have a release date of February, then you should be able to show more than this just tiny little
That is just a strange announcement to be there at the end if you're not going to show anything else.
Because we still even know what the game is. We don't know anything about it. We know it's coming out in February.
We have an art style, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, you just think about, Ori was shown this year. We know exactly what that game is, and we've seen a lot of it that's coming out in February. We've seen a lot of games that are coming out in February.
I think if this would have ended with Watch Dogs Legion, I mean, opening was cool and fun, and it made the rest of it maybe not seem as boring, but... If it would have ended with Watch Dogs, I think we'd be having a different discussion. Just generally more excitement.
Yeah, but then you might have the problem where it's like, God, this is
So
like,
boring,
what are we
yeah.
having this conference? Yeah, so I don't know. Like, I think the answer is they just did not have enough for how long this presentation was. Like, I would go to Ubisoft and Bethesda and tell them, hey guys, you don't have to have an hour and a half long press conference. You can have an hour long one or a 45-minute
I was
one.
gonna
Like, you
say,
can
like,
just.
think of Square's last year.
Yeah.
Didn't they have like a 40-minute?
I think it was even less than that, and the quality was bad. Like,
Yeah.
the quality of announcements was bad, but the
idea.
presentation was good. It's
The idea was
Nintendo Direct. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I would tell these people. Is like, you can still have your own E3 thing. Just make it a Direct. Make it a packaged video that gets in, says the important stuff. Like, maybe teases some of the add-ons, and it's like, hey, if you really care about this, go into this website or whatever.
It seems like only the
And
first
then
parties
just
really need this.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I mean, I think usually Ubisoft has enough to where I don't
Yeah, I
leave
agree.
saying this, but this is one of those
The-
years that.
Yeah, this is a different year. I mean, it's been a different year for everyone, but yeah, this one wasn't a good look for Ubi.
Yeah, and I wish that some of these companies would, like, you don't have to blow it out every year. You can make it where it's like every other year, like whenever Ubisoft does announce a press conference, you're like, oh shit, it means something.
Well,
They're like, yeah.
that was the thing with Bethesda. Their first year, it was like, oh, dang, okay, they have a lot. And now every other year besides that first year has been like, all right.
It really just feels like they do it because they don't, like, just because it's like, oh, we have to do it. Like,
Yeah,
we
we
have
started.
to keep, yeah, we started, so we have to. Whereas, like, their press conferences would mean so much more. Like, yeah, well, if they had that Fallout one and then they didn't have one for 2 years, and then they're like, hey, we're back at E3, it's like, oh, shit, they got some stuff, you know?
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine if EA did have their regular press conference? I mean, it would be the same thing, just like
Oh,
nothing.
yeah, it would be
you know,
garbage,
it's-
yeah. I mean, yeah, EA, usually Ubisoft is better, but this year Ubisoft and Bethesda, all of them, like, if they just did, like, Nintendo Directs, it would be fine. Like, honestly,
Agreed.
if we had, like, a short packaged video that had, like, all this a lot of this add-on stuff, like, they just quickly did it and moved on. They had Gods and Monsters or whatever, and then they ended with, a giant Watch Dogs thing, we'd be like, sweet. That was great. That was a great, like, 35-minute, 40-minute thing, and we're out, and great. But unfortunately, when you make it an hour and a half long, it's hard to, like, yeah.
I mean, yeah, just looking at the lists I made for Bethesda and Ubisoft, it's like, I don't know, Bethesda, I guess, had around 10 games. Ubi's looking at 7, maybe.
Well, and think about this. Ubisoft, Bethesda, and Microsoft were all about the same length.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
compare
that's that,
compare
yeah.
what's shown in Microsoft versus yeah, look at this.
Yeah. I mean, Microsoft, yeah, having more doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be better by any stretch.
No.
And I mean, like, Watch Dogs, unlike Microsoft, Ubisoft and Bethesda actually both had pretty good extended gameplays for their two most popular games right now, Doom and Watch Dogs.
Right, whereas, like, we leave, like, Halo Infinite, still
Yeah,
haven't seen
whereas
anything about how the game
I don't think
plays.
Microsoft had any gameplay for anything. So it's like, I appreciate that, but yeah, it's just looking at those two lists, it's a little sad that
They're weak lineups, aside from, like,
and the
you know.
the new games that we are kind of excited about, Ghostwire, Deathloop, maybe even Gods and Monsters, is like nothing was shown.
Yeah, great trailers and concepts and stuff, or at least for Ghostwire and Deathloop, but kind of like it's still it's cool, but like those games could still end up being bad. Like we don't know, we still don't really know what they are. Like exactly, yeah. It's just I just kind of wish these companies would like treat their announcements at E3 like with a little bit more care. Like make them mean more. You know, like just be a little bit more like sparse with what you're saying. You don't have to drag things out just to fill time.
It is, yeah. I mean, it is funny looking back over the past 3 conferences and being like, all right, definitely makes sense why Sony and EA aren't there. Just.
And we did think leading up into this, there was a chance that we'd be like, oh wow, like Microsoft, like everyone, like Sony got trampled on this year by not being here. You know, like there was definitely, we thought that might be a thing, but now I think we're going to be leaving E3 like, yeah,
Sony won.
So like, well, it's at least going to be like, it didn't hurt Sony. It's going to be like, yeah, they weren't here, and it's like, it's probably because they just knew that they didn't have a whole lot to show, so they're like, instead of wasting time, we're just gonna.
They started sketching out their conference, and we're like, oh, we have 30 minutes. Might as well not do anything.
Just drop a Death Stranding trailer, and everyone's going to love it anyway. Yeah. I mean, I love E3, but I mean, that's not a bad way to go, especially when PlayStation's been focusing on like fewer games, but good games recently. Because like, whether Sony's at E3 or not, we're all going to be playing Last of Us. We're all going to love it. Same with Death Stranding, same with all these.
Yeah, I mean, this was the year for Microsoft to just show like 3 new exclusives or something, and they just dropped the ball. But anyway.
But let's go through this. Let's start off with Watch Dogs Legion. I was about to say Watch Point. I don't know where I was going. Watch Dogs Legion. So the big kind of selling point for this Watch Dogs is you can play everyone. You can play as everyone, and they say that over and over again. Everyone, like any NPC, you can play. And they showed this first by like they have you playing as this certain British guy. You're in London, by the way. And you're playing with him and everything, and then you get killed, and it just says put to rest, and you put him to rest, and then it comes up with this like character select thing.
And it has people saying like, oh, we lost one. Right. We need someone else to kind of finish out the job or whatever. So.
Right, and then you're this granny, and then like later on you're this other person, and you recruit people, and then they just like really go into like all these different people have apparently backstories, personalities,
origin stories,
voice acting, and like I mean seriously, like when the character select screen thing, it was a lot of them, and then they basically made it seem like when you're walking around the world, you can play as anyone you walk past.
Yeah, that's what I'm still a little confused over, because you would run into people and it would show you like their stats and stuff, and I don't know if that means you can just like literally switch to them at any point, or
like GTA style.
Yeah.
Or is it just on death? Yeah, like there's still like I think we both agree by concept this is cool.
Yeah, no, I'm really into it, honestly. I just don't know exactly. Hopefully there's going to be some sort of written piece somewhere soon that kind of delves into it a little more.
And it might be one of those things that we never truly know how well it works until it's out and people can review it and stuff like that. Because this is a concept that I could see blowing up and being bad easily. Because it's super ambitious just with like the voice acting alone, and him saying that like all these characters have their own stories. So like, is that going to be the game, or is there also kind of a main path that you can go on like interchangeably with these people? Or is it really just like their individual stories add up to some overarching whole?
Yeah,
and if that's the case, like again, can I play these in any order? So how do you tell a story that way? If I can like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, my initial thought was like, okay, you're going to have a couple story missions, and then you're going to be tasked with, okay, before you can move on, you need to recruit 10 characters or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you can do another story mission, then you have to recruit 10 more or something. But I just don't know how that...
But then, like, if you can do, like, anyone at any time and become anyone, then for all those story missions, you have to have, like, 50-something different voice actings that could, like, fit... Like, depending on which random people you have.
Right.
I mean, maybe that's not that crazy. Maybe it's just very simple dialogue.
I mean,
I don't know.
It's one of those things where, I mean, we don't know how long they've been working on this necessarily, but, I mean, you'd think of something like The Witcher that has a ton of dialogue.
Yeah.
And if we think of it in the same way, then I guess it could work out. It's just strange.
If it's a maybe slightly, it's like a shorter game.
Yeah, exactly.
That just had that much... I mean, but regardless, if it's as open, like it very well maybe it like kind of guides you more on a path. Like yes, you can like you're gonna end up doing like 60 different characters, but like we put you down this path, so like this person's never gonna be in this mission or something like that. But I don't know, cause
yeah, I mean I feel like Watch Dogs is really predicated on that open world aesthetic,
and just the mechanic of like. You died, and it didn't really look like it was a story death. It looked like you just died in the gameplay, and then you picked up as someone else. So that means, like, anytime you die, they have to have someone else that can, like, pick up there. Like, not in a non-scripted
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of curious about. I wonder if it's maybe only if you died during a story mission, is that going to happen? Or, because that would, it'd just be weird for there to be permadeath, like, if you were wrecked a car or something, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Strange.
And because like we said during the conference, someone out there is gonna like make the video where they die until they run out of NPCs and it starts like repeating or something like that. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't know what to think about it. It's exciting and it was a cool showing. It's just, is this gonna feel kind of empty in the long run? Like, are we gonna look back on this and like, yeah, they were promising a little more than they could offer, you know? I could see that being the case. This could be a Peter Molyneux type situation. But I don't know. I'm interested in it. I have a feeling a lot more people are going to be looking at this than they have Watch Dogs 2 or Watch Dogs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that they're trying to innovate in this way and not just giving us another solo male protagonist.
Yeah.
In a city.
Yeah, which I said this almost seems like a response to people not liking the Watch Dogs protagonist. They're like, all right, fine. Here's like 70 protagonists. Take your pick if you're bound to like one of them. Yeah. So it's cool. I mean, gameplay looked very Watch Dogs. You're hacking into like drones, doing this, hacking into people. I mean, gameplay-wise and honestly even visual-wise, it doesn't look that different, but I think it maybe makes up for it just in the fact that the concept of the entire game is something different.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's Watch Dogs Legion instead of Watch Dogs 3 makes me think it's kind of like a Far Cry Primal type situation where it's like it's kind of an experimental offshoot. Like, we still might get Watch Dogs 3 at some point. Maybe, and maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah,
But
I mean, it has been a while since Watch Dogs 2.
I mean, yeah, I think this is the next Watch Dogs game, but they might have intentionally dropped the number because of how experimental this one is. Like, I still think it's going to be a full game. It's just obviously super different. But I also like the backdrop of this, of it being like a revolution, like uprising in London. It makes sense that everyone is.
It makes way more sense than the previous two, I think.
Yeah. And at least, your violence now makes sense because you're trying to overthrow the government, basically.
I mean, it's cool.
Yeah.
So that releases in March.
Yep. Another one for spring 2020. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Or like just early months of 2020. There's a lot of games.
As long as you get before the Cyberpunk date, you should be okay.
Yeah, because Cyberpunk is going to take me approximately 2 years to beat. So. That's how long it took me to beat Witcher.
Yeah, 2020 is going to be pretty nuts, though.
It's shaping up to be crazy.
I mean, you're going to have launch titles for the new consoles, too. It's going to be weird.
Yeah, consoles launch at the end of the year. And Last of Us is probably going to be early next year. That's what it's looking like. And there's already Final Fantasy VII Remake, Cyberpunk, this, Ori.
Maybe, what's the other Sony game? Samurai game?
Ghost of Tsushima, we haven't really heard about that. Yeah. So, Gods and Monsters? Come on, dude.
The next new one. Halo Infinite. All these.
That's going to be a lot. I think that's going to be fall 2020, but it's still 2020. Yeah. All right, well, we can move on. What was next? I guess, the Mythic Quest.
The new TV show.
Yeah, with Always Sunny in Philadelphia. What's his name?
Rob McElhenney or something?
McElhenney or something.
McElhenney,
yeah, something like that. Yeah, this was an interesting announcement. It's like a TV show based on a fictional developer of like an MMO. I kind of got the feeling of it. Yeah.
If you're trying to market a new TV show with a TV spot of some sort, I feel like this is certainly the place to do it.
I mean,
it was just kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't mind it.
With it being video game related, it makes sense to advertise it to video game players. It makes me worry a little bit that like I didn't chuckle or laugh or anything at anything they showed, which is a little concerning.
I think I was only able to find the humor in it because I'm so familiar with him from It's Always Sunny, so I just know who he usually plays and what his characters are. But yeah, kind of a hard sell, I think, for other people.
It didn't seem like it didn't have the like It's Always Sunny just instantly has a personality to it and just a vibe to it, and like that this just kind of felt like this just seems like a low budget TV show to me. Like even the assets are not very good, the acting didn't seem great. It just kind of like I don't know. Like I don't think this has a lot of budget to it, and I'm just worried that the writing is just not going to be there. I mean, like I'm down with it in concept, but I'm not optimistic.
I
I'll maybe
wonder
give it
what
a shot,
network
though.
has it. I think that will be very important for how long this stays
It's gonna
around.
be the freaking CW. I mean, honestly, it's not that very. It might not even be on TV. It might be something else online. I mean, it looks pretty low budget, but
Oh, it's Apple TV Plus. Interesting.
do they have a lot of shows, like their own shows? I don't know.
They just announced their streaming service like a few months ago, so that's interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I think it could be successful, but you never know.
Yeah. Don't have my hopes up, but we'll see.
We had, I guess it was Ghost Recon Breakpoint after that.
Yeah, I think so. That was the next thing. So yeah, this is more definitely your thing. So how does this do anything for you?
Certainly. I mean, I think it is. This is another. I mean, they announced this like last month, and I don't really know why they did it then when they could have done it now and had a much stronger conference. If you really think about it.
It's, a lot of people, a lot of like companies seem to be like, yeah, please be hyped for E3.
Yeah, see
like,
more at E3.
Yeah, I guess just they must have numbers on it, and like people tune in more if they are tuning in for a game.
Yeah.
Which I guess I understand from their perspective, but for E3 watchers, it's kind of a bummer. Yeah.
Yeah, for people.
Or maybe they're like, hey, it's going to be leaked anyway. Whatever.
Honestly.
We're Ubisoft.
Yeah, I mean, they just showed the trailer. They didn't even show gameplay, did they? Well, okay, before we get to anything, we should say that they announced AI teammates are back.
Yes.
Which I was just commenting to Darby that I was upset with. So that was pretty cool. Immediately after I said that, they announced they were coming back. And that's cool.
It's kind of funny how quickly after you said it.
I mean, I'm on the Ghost Recon Reddit every once in a while, even though I don't play the game in a few years now. I was excited for Breakpoint, and when I was looking at the Reds, everyone was talking about how they wish the AI teammates were back. So I guess it was like most people did want them to be there, and they heard that apparently. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know much about Ghost Recon at all, but like, do you think there's a worry that like it's gonna feel thrown in at the last minute if it really was a response to what people were saying?
Yeah, that is. I mean, yeah, that comes out 4 months. Yeah, I don't know. It didn't seem like any of the functionality was going to be lost because you were going to have like these drones that had guns on them, I guess, and that was supposed to, you were able to control them in the same way you were able to do squad commands or whatever.
So maybe it's similar enough.
So I guess it's similar enough. It's just, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. We also had Bam Bam the dog, which was probably the highlight of the... Yeah. I think his name was Bam Bam, Boom Boom, something like that.
2 celebrity cameos.
Yep. I mean, one more important than the other. Clearly.
1.5.
Yes, yeah.
But, yeah, so, I mean, I'm excited for Breakpoint.
Are you excited for John Bernthal?
John Bernthal.
As a villain?
I still don't think I'm really there on the whole actors being in video games thing.
It's a weird thing to, get used to. He's no Keanu Reeves, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I was kind of hoping there would be a little bit more of a demo for this game, but
yeah, have we seen much gameplay at all? Like when they revealed it first, was there a lot of gameplay?
Yeah, I think they revealed it along with like a solid 25-minute gameplay. But I was kind of expecting there to be a short demo for people that weren't going to go and look at that themselves, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, for how much time it was in this conference, it is kind of surprising there wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, it was there for a while, and they didn't show any gameplay. But
yeah, I mean, it's like, you know what Ghost Recon is, I guess, if you really care. So, but that is a bummer.
I saw a joke on Twitter from the guy who used to run the Kaz Hirai CEO account. He just was like, he said that this conference should have been called Tom Clancy's E3 because it really was just like
yeah. Because speaking of which,
yeah, because we had Ghost Recon, then we also went into a couple different segments of Rainbow Six. Actually, I think it was they announced they did this first. Yeah, they did do this Tom Clancy mobile game.
Yeah,
which is actually kind of a cool idea. I like the idea that that it is a connected universe. They used to hype that up a lot with like Tom Clancy's in-game, like the Splinter Cell agents were in that, and the Hawks and all these other people in this fictional universe.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a mobile game.
I mean, even if you aren't interested in playing this mobile game, at least it's cool that they're willing to do this crossover thing. So maybe in the future they'll do more of that.
I mean, and we've seen Sam Fisher showing up in Wildlands, Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Are they actually supposed to all be in the same universe, the same lore? Okay.
Yeah, it's I think that what was it? Tom Clancy's in.
Which is crazy because the Division is post-apocalyptic and it's in the same.
Yeah, I'm trying
world.
to think. So, I can't remember what this game is called now. I wanted to say Tom Clancy's in-game, but that's clearly not right. Anyway, he had some game come out in 2010 maybe or something like that, and it was supposed to be the finale of the Tom Clancy verse kind of, and so all these different people were in it. But then Division came out after that, so I guess I don't really know where that fits in. But supposedly, Rainbow Six, the Splinter Cell agents, the Hawks, and the Ghost Recon people are all in the same universe.
Is it just kind of a loose connection?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they mention each other at times and stuff like that, but it's not in-depth crossovers.
Yeah. Then we had our halftime show.
Right, the halftime show.
No Old Town Road.
Actually, incredibly surprising to me.
And disappointing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the For Honor
the For Honor stuff. Neither of us are really For Honor guys, so can't really speak to it too much.
They are definitely keeping up. I mean, this game launched quite a while ago.
Yeah, if you play For Honor, it seems like they've had lots of updates. I mean, it seems like you've had a lot to go back to, which is good for that. A little bit I played of For Honor was fun.
So then they did this whole surprise section, and I was like, "Whoa!" We were both like, "Okay, something's happening."
New
I don't know
IP?
exactly what. Yeah, it looks cool. But then, of course, they announced that it's just a new co-op mode for Rainbow Six Siege. And Rainbow Six actually had, I'm pretty sure it had a couple different points where they announced.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember all the different things. It was at least brought up multiple times. There was the esports thing, and then this, and then
yeah, they did the esports thing. They did this quarantine, and then I guess it was after this, they announced the U.S. agent guy.
Oh yeah.
Which was maybe a highlight of the conference.
It was pretty entertaining for me. It was this absolute 007 dude.
Secret Service with a stash.
They even had the really the crazy Bond intro stuff designs. With the crazy graphic design stuff. Clutch Royale.
Yeah.
And he had such a great mustache.
So Rainbow Six was really a tentpole of this conference. Actually, it's they really kept coming back to that.
Again, Tom Clancy's E3,
and it makes sense. I mean, Rainbow Six Siege has been around for a while. And
does Rainbow Six Siege have a history of kind of goofy characters like that? Because that was definitely a little bit tongue in cheek, we're making fun of 007.
Yeah, not really. Actually, I feel like all the characters that.
And make sure you're talking to the mic.
Sorry, yeah, all the characters that we think of as jokes were kind of jokes because of the community, not because of the developers. And the developers seem to make a joke character here.
So maybe they're embracing it.
Yeah. I'm okay with it.
Jokes. Yeah, I mean, from afar, I'm cool with it. Division, me and you definitely. I think we talked through this entire thing. We're again not Division guys.
I mean, there's another Tom Clancy game.
Tom Clancy's E3. It really, really and truly is. Yeah, that went on for a while, and I think we were talking about Stadia through most of this.
The Uplay Plus.
Oh yeah, Uplay Plus, which we both I think agree is a dead in the water subscription service because there's just too many subscription services. It costs more than Xbox Game Pass, and it's only Ubisoft. It's I'm sorry, I just don't.
I don't know exactly.
I can only pay for so many things. It's just
I don't know who they're going after there.
Yeah. Then we had Roller Champions. They never really actually showed gameplay for this. Even when they were let's take a look at what you'll be doing, it was a very tailored. It was still a tailored video. It never really showed here's a match and here's how it works.
I don't know whatever happened to the whole. All right, let's go on stage and show it off on stage because I think that would have worked really well for this.
This is the type of game that needs it. Yeah. Because this is something that not most people are not going to understand what's going on, myself included. It's a weird thing, and you have to sell this. You have to Yeah, like it's like a very Rocket League type thing. I imagine it's gonna be something where like you have competitions, like it's like matches. It's like I'm playing with my friends or whatever. So for that kind of game, I need more than just hype music and people rolling around on rollerblades. I need to know how this works.
It's like they've been working on this game for so long that they forgot that we don't know how it plays.
That's how it felt. Yeah. That is definitely how it felt, because this could be cool. I mean, like, it's one of those, like, it could be, like, surprisingly cool. Like it could be fun to play.
It's either terrible or it's going to be, like, a big surprise.
Right. But, like, even when, like, he was like, okay, let's take a look at what you're going to be doing. I'm like, okay, so it's going to be gameplay. And I guess it, like, maybe kind of was. But, again, it didn't really... It was such a doctored video that I still didn't really understand.
Yeah, it just didn't...
Like
show,
this,
it just didn't tell us what we were doing.
It's more like a hype, like... trailer thing than it is like a gameplay explanation. But yeah,
so that happened,
and then Yusuke Malt came out and introduced, okay, we have one more like new IP thing to show you. Guy came out and talked about mythology and stuff. I'm like, okay,
I liked this intro to it, and
then we see
the art style. I mean, it's cool looking.
I mean, this could be cool, and like it seems like maybe it's taking from like real world mythology and stuff. Like there was some weird tentacle monster dude there, and it was like something we turn to the gods, and then the gods turn to you, and then we see this guy take down a weird demon bird thing.
Yeah, just from this, like, from the creators of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I thought they were gonna show off a ton right here.
Yeah,
but then it was just that, and then it ended.
It's like this trailer was not cool enough for that to be all you leave aside.
Not at all, yeah.
Because like I feel like this could be cool, but you have to like sell me on what this game is. Like the art style alone can't sell it. Like there's things like, even when we talk about Bethesda, we ding them on it a little bit, but like that Ghostwire trailer was hype. I mean, like, even not knowing what the gameplay is, just taking that trailer, I was like, this looks cool. It's a cool vibe and everything. And that was enough to where, like, okay, I'll give it to you.
I mean, same
you haven't
with
shown us the game.
Arcane game, Deathloop.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that one was awesome, too, and we don't really know what that game's about.
But at least, like, even just from that trailer, like, I'm interested in the concept. This is not, like, I needed gameplay for me to get over the hump with this. And especially for it to be the one more thing. This was the one more thing. It's
and
like,
both of those games we just mentioned from Bethesda don't have a release date. This has a release date that is in 8 months.
That's the most baffling
like,
thing
why
to me.
wouldn't you show more?
That's the, like, biggest, just baffling thing.
A one more thing that has a release date, and you're not going to show more than a 30-second trailer? That's very strange.
It's odd. It is odd. Like, we show, like, basically they showed the same, like, less than they've shown of Beyond Good and Evil, which does not even have a release year, and we've seen it twice at these things, and this thing we see for, like, 30 seconds, and it's coming out in 8 months. It's so bizarre.
If you want us to be hyped for this, and have it as your one last thing, why would you do that?
It's weird.
So weird.
It was a weird way to end the conference, and then that was Ubisoft's.
And then some guy almost rapped.
Yeah, I really was hoping. He came out there, the beat started playing, and he was like, "Yeah, Ubisoft." Oh shit!
Just Dance again.
Just Dance Rap Edition. Yeah, and that was that.
Watch Dogs was cool.
Yeah, sadly underwhelming conference. So far, this is definitely a weaker E3, which makes sense before console, like the end of a console generation, but it's still kind of a bummer,
Yep. Splinter Cell was there. Just not how I wanted it to
be. It was, hey, baby steps.
Baby steps. They haven't forgotten about Sam Fisher. No. He's still around.
He appeared. He made an appearance. Yeah, so Microsoft, like, there was a lot of cool things at Microsoft, and I still do think that overall Microsoft's conference is still, in the grand scheme of E3 conferences, a really good one, but especially just coming after 2017 and 2018 just being insane years for video games and for E3, and for Microsoft's conferences in 2017 and 2018 were insane. And then this year, like, definitely was just kind of lacking in, like, new stuff that we want to see, or at least, like, new details on new things. Like, Cyberpunk was amazing. Ori was amazing. A bunch of those, but we kind of already knew that. And then Bethesda was also just didn't quite have enough. Doom Eternal was great.
I mean,
which is not too much. And then Ubisoft had Watch Dogs, and the rest was also filler.
I think Microsoft easily could have just struck off a few of these games from their conference and included gameplay of games we really wanted to see, like Gears or Gears or more Cyberpunk. Or even like Dying Light or something like that.
Or Gears was kind of ridiculous for
that was a ton of build
the
up.
amount of time they spent and the amount of like energy and like production value they put into like the crazy stage stuff and like take up like 10 minutes of the conference and then not show really anything. You still didn't show gameplay.
Yeah,
and that game's coming out in like 3 months.
They decided to do that whole thing where you went into the stage
just to show a TV. It's like, what are we doing?
So
and then the Billie Eilish thing was really cheesy too. It was really corny.
It was okay. I mean, Microsoft wasn't a bad conference. I just don't understand why they showed so many games instead of just showing the gameplay for ones we're excited about. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if they had shown more gameplay for Cyberpunk and Gears, or even like Tales of Arise, which I don't really care about, but
me and Jeff care about. Yeah, it's. I mean that was a big deal just because the Tales games have all like never really increased in visual quality.
Yeah, that game looked cool.
They still all look
like
I mean, even the last Tales game it's like a PS3 game.
Yeah, Berseria looked terrible.
Yeah,
that's the last one, right?
Yeah. I mean, they all do. Like they've like very barely gotten better, but it's still released on PS3. I mean, like those games.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They intentionally like they're able to churn them out because they like keep them in like low graphics basically. So like we were watching that trailer and I had no clue it was a Tales game. Like me and Jeff played the Tales games and we enjoyed them, but like I was watching this, I was like, this looks awesome, but like this is like the 9th entry in some JRPG series I don't care about, so I'm like, whatever. And then it pops up and it says Tales. I'm like, wait, what? It's like that looked amazing.
Well, that was another game or another circumstance that kind of lessened Microsoft's conference because that was leaked early, along with the other ones.
Yeah, at least I avoided
Bandai,
that one. I somehow didn't see that, but yeah, those leaks kind of killed this E3 in a lot of ways, which is a bummer.
Oh well, Square actually has a solid chance of winning E3, which is incredible because last year was terrible.
Like they might go for worst at first. I mean, I am biased for Final Fantasy VII Remake, but honestly, Final Fantasy VII Remake and Avengers alone has a chance to.
I mean, if they come out and just show 15 minutes of Avengers, I'm all in. Like that sounds awesome.
Are you still all in if it is this multiplayer games as a service thing that it might be? Because that is.
Probably. I
still think it could be super cool, yeah.
I think I'm still interested enough to I would probably still pick it up.
Obviously, I lean toward this Crystal Dynamics and just my type of video game. Like, I would want it to be like a single-player story thing.
I agree.
But I also think it could be cool. But that's also, it would be hard to do a meaty, long single-player campaign thing where you have to at least play as like the big four Avengers, and like they all have to feel good. And
that's why I don't think team games really make much sense. But we'll see how they work with it, I guess.
We will see. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm definitely very much looking forward to Square. I think Kind of Funny will be fun. It'll be all indie, but it'll be like an indie showcase. It'll be fun.
Didn't they say it's gonna be 45 minutes or something? So
yeah,
I
think it's something like that. Yeah, I think it's like 60 games. I think it might be an hour, but it's at least like it's I think it's gonna be breezy and nice, and it's Kind of Funny guys. So
true,
definitely down for that. So yeah, me and someone, whether it's Will or Jacob, will be here for Kind of Funny, and then me, Jacob, and Jeff, it sounds like, will be here for Square, and you're welcome to stay for all of that if you want.
All right,
it's up to you. So yeah, stay tuned for that at twitch.tv/nerds@large-gaming, and the archives will be on youtube.com/nerds@large and the Nerds at Large podcast feed. E3, it's coming. We're like halfway through, halfway through now.
Yeah,
we still have Nintendo
too.
We'll see.
They could be good.
We'll see. All right. Well, thank you.
See ya.